What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness across all social media platforms. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice, I'm a diagnosed narcissist and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and also validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. Today's episode is going to be about inside triggers, aka the dog whistles that narcissistic and toxic people and non-narcissistic people use these as well. So if you're unfamiliar of what an inside trigger is, aka a dog whistle, it's something that triggers you that somebody else might not get triggered by. It's a dog whistle. You know how you hear a lot of people say this in politics, like they call it racist dog whistles and things like that. A dog whistle is a term or a phrase or a trigger that just triggers particular sets of people. Or if you're dealing with a narcissist, it's something that a narcissist knows that would only trigger you. It's an inside joke. Instead, it's an inside trigger. Like, let's just say, and then only you can hear. Like, if you blow a dog whistle, only a dog can hear it, right? That whistle is made for specific people, just like that trigger is. So let's just say one of your triggers is orange soda right here. Kel, who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. I do. Ooh. That's a throwback right there. If you don't. You're too young. You're too young for this channel. If you just hear that right there, you don't know what that reference is for. But let's just say you don't like orange soda. Orange soda triggers you, right? So a narcissist always is giving you orange soda, like you act like you at a party or out at a bar or something like that. You at a group setting, a celebration or something like that. And guess what? The narcissist, like, hey, can you bring me a drink, honey? Guess what the narcissist brings you back? Orange soda. They continuously do this all the time. Sets you and it triggers you. You're like, orange soda. Now your mood is ruined. Now you know they're messing with you on purpose. Hey, honey, why you not drinking the drink I went up and got you? And it sets you off. It doesn't have to be orange soda. That's a very bad reference, but it could be anything else. It could be your mom. It could be your dad. It could be something in your past. Inside triggers are intentionally meant to trigger you. And narcissists like to trigger people on purpose, because you hear this. If you follow me, you've been following me for a while. One of my sayings is that if I can trigger you, I can control you. So if sometimes a narcissist triggers you on purpose just to make sure that they still have some type of control over you. Just to make sure that hey, I still got it. I can still trigger them whenever I want to. Hey, it still works. The trigger, like me triggering them on purpose, still works. I still have this power over this person because they still allow me to trigger them. That's why I keep telling people, you're controlling your reactions to a narcissist is, it's one of your best forms of defense. Because if you get triggered in public, let's say they perform one of these dog whistles in public, one of these inside triggers in public. They blow on the dog whistle and try to trigger you on purpose in public. And you react out of character. You start screaming and yelling at somebody else that looks calm, cool, and collected. Now let's just say they trigger you, and now you're screaming at them. Now you're yelling at them. Now you're fussing and fighting and arguing and things like that. So y'all are going back and forth, right? Y'all going back and forth, arguing and stuff like that. No, y'all not even going back and forth. They're just everybody looking at you, making a scene. Like, you're yelling, screaming, making a scene, and they're still there cool, calm, and collected. So now you look like the aggressor. Now, sometimes you look, quote unquote, crazy. You look like a crazy person. So now your reputation in this group might have take a setback because you couldn't control yourself you couldn't control your reactions. So that's why I tell people all the time, your reactions are your power. Your reactions and how you react to a narcissist is one of your forms of power that you have over a narcissistic person. That's why I tell people, I know it's easier said than done. I know it is, because narcissists, if one trigger doesn't work, they'll move on to the next trigger. If that trigger doesn't work, they'll move on to the next trigger. If that dog whistle doesn't work, they'll move on. They'll keep trying to trigger you until something works. They're going their bag of look. They're going their bag of triggers right here. Do like this, they're like This trigger work? No. Dig. This trigger work right here? No. You working hard today. What about this trigger? No. Oh, I got the trigger right here for you. Remember the time you unalived our baby? Boom, got you. Now you like, what? Sorry about that, y'all. I know this is a trigger, but like now, so now they bring up unaliving a baby, smush-mortion. It rhymes with smush-mortion. You know what I mean? Now, guess what? If you're a woman, you're triggered. You know, if you're a woman in a situation, you might be triggered. If you're a man, and they just say, "Remember the time you had me do that, you forced me to do that." Now you're triggered. Now you're super triggered. Now you react out of character. Boom, got you. Now, guess what? That trigger goes to the top of the trigger book bag now. They know it works. They know that trigger works. Controlling your reactions, controlling your emotions around narcissistic people, I'm just telling y'all, it does give you the power, because some people, like, when a narcissist, a lot of narcissistic people don't like themselves internally. They don't like we don't like how we feel. We don't like how we perceive the world. We don't like how we act and things like that. Sometimes we don't even like how we look, you know? So if you're dealing with a narcissist that's struggling like that, to get to that point right there, you have to understand that when you're doing that, that person is going to, like, instead of trying to fix themselves or work on themselves, they're going to take it out on you. The people closest to a narcissist or toxic person are going to get treated the worst because you're the closest person to that narcissist. You're the closest person to that toxic person, so they're going to take it out on you. The anger, frustration of their lives is going to be taken out on you. You now become the target. Now I can't control anything in my life right now, but you know what I can control? The people closest to me. Trigger. You're going to trigger the wife. You're going to trigger the husband. You're going to trigger the kids. You're going to take it out on them. You're going to take your anger and frustration out on you. If I say, a lot of times narcissistic people are attacking the people closest to them because we can't control our own lives. We don't feel like we are where we want to be in life, and it hurts and it sucks and it drives us crazy a lot of times. That's why I tell people all the time now. I'm sorry, I know I keep repeating this, but literally, controlling your trigger, controlling the things that trigger you around this person gives you some semblance of power. Breaking out, screaming, yelling, attacking them, crying, and things like that, they make you look, like I said, some people know what's going on. But to strangers in the situation, like if you're out in a public setting, you might look crazy. Let's just say somebody starts recording, hey, this couple is over there arguing, and this one person looks crazy as hell, and the other person is sitting there calm. Wow, I wish I could be like the calm person, because I cannot take, like, wow. Not knowing the backstory of what happened. They triggered you on purpose. Now you're yelling and screaming in a restaurant. They triggered you on purpose. Now you're yelling and screaming at a wedding. They triggered you on purpose. Now you're yelling and screaming at a kid's birthday party. It's always going to be something like sometimes it's not in a public setting. Sometimes this can just be at home, and they'll pull out their phone and record you. They'll whip out that phone, record you, make you look like the aggressor, and set everything into motion. They got you then. Controlling your reactions is controlling your power. It is. But Lee, how do we control our reactions? Sometimes it just takes slowing yourself down and understanding what they're trying to do. Read them to the point. Respond, don't react. Reactions get you in trouble. Responding gives you the power. So if they say something about, some kind of terrible incident that happened that triggers you, instead of just being like, you just attacking me, blah, 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 and take your time, understand, like, now, they must really not be happy in their life to try to bring me down for absolutely no reason. This is not about me. This is actually about them. Say that to yourself. This is not about me. This is actually about them. This is not me. This is not about me. This is actually about them. This is not me. This is actually about them and how they feel about themselves internally. This is them projecting their internal sadness and anger and hatred at the world onto me because I'm the closest person to this person. And that person is jealous of how I live my life. That person wishes they could be in control of themselves like I'm in control of myself. Boom, you got it. You just took your power back. It's easier said than done. It is. It really is. Sorry, I had to take a swig right there. But yeah, don't get it. Like I said, this is what I tell people. Don't get into it. Like, if you decide that, I know people are going to ask, what should I do? What should I do? I can't tell you what to do, y'all. A lot of people come and slide into my comment sections like, Lee, it's kind of messed up, man, that you tell everybody on here to leave their narcissistic partner, but your wife stayed. Why should she stay? Should she leave you? Boop, 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 boop. Y'all, I don't tell people to leave unless they get their asses beat. You have to make the decision to leave on your own. I tell people all the time that, hey, look, if you decide to stay in this relationship, you have to pretty much accept this person for who they are and control how you respond to this person. This is who they are. This is who they are. You can't let them trigger you. You can't let them control you. This is who they are right here. This is your acceptance. Are you okay with this behavior for possibly the rest of your life? If so, cool. Do you? If not, make a plan and time to go. Some people is like, I'd rather be with this person unhappy than be alone. Yikes. And that right there is is poisonous to society nowadays, because people are so afraid to be alone that they would rather be in a toxic ass, like unloving, uncaring relationship. At least I have a person that's cheating on me and treating me terribly. At least I have somebody. I've heard people say that before. People tell me that they're like, oh, my boyfriend is just like this, or my girlfriend is just like this. Oh my God, like what the hell? I would say to them, I was like, look, you know that doesn't have to be your fiance, right? You know that doesn't have to be your spouse. You don't have to get married to that person, right? But then people respond to me, it's like, well, at least I'll have somebody. At least I'll be married. At least I'll be engaged. Wow. So many people are so broken before they get into these relationships that you make yourself perfect targets and vulnerable as hell to narcissistic people. Like, they might say, if you coming out of a toxic situation, a toxic household, or whatever, you were raised by toxic parents, you need to heal before you start dating, because you're going to get into a toxic ass relationship and you're going to think that it's going to feel like home. Heal first. Narcissistic people heal with other people. They try to use other people to make themselves feel better about themselves. Whereas non-narcissistic people heal on your own. You can self-soothe. You can heal on your own. Narcissistic people, we use other people. We hop into relationships very, very quickly. We do that type of stuff right there. You need to heal on your own, because things that trigger you in your household will be used against you. Don't, and like, here, I'm gonna wrap it up with this, y'all. Stop sharing the things that trigger you on your first, second, third dates. Stop sharing your triggers with people. You just give people, it's like you giving somebody the detonator to you got TNT, you got some dynamite in your purse or in your pocket, and you getting them the detonator. Here's the detonator, just in case you need it right here. That's exactly what you're doing when you're telling people what you've been through. You're sharing your early trauma with them. Don't do that. Make people earn your information. Anyway, y'all, I got a set of 101s I have to hop on. Started here in the next few minutes. Like and subscribe, turn on those notifications. Mental Healness is out. Peace. And my